December 19th, 1944. Verdun, France. A cold winter morning settled over Verdun. Snow blanketed the streets outside, frost clinging to window panes. Inside a converted French army barracks, the top Allied generals gathered around a long table. Not one of them was smiling. 3 days earlier, over 200,000 German soldiers had smashed through American lines in the Ardennes. Entire divisions were overrun, roads clogged with retreating troops, radios silent. Chaos had erupted. Allied intelligence had been blind, completely. Dwight Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander, traced the thin lines leading to Bastogne on the maps spread before him. His voice was calm, but tense. "How soon can someone move north to relieve Bastogne? If we fail, those men could all be lost." Silence swallowed the room. Generals whispered, calculated supply lines, considered exhausted troops, narrow winter roads. The task seemed impossible. Every man understood the stakes. Then George Patton spoke, calm, controlled, almost defiant. "I can attack with 2 divisions in 48 hours. The room froze. 48 hours to disengage units already in combat, rotate an entire army, move over 100,000 men and thousands of vehicles through snow and ice, and strike at hardened German positions. Impossible. Eisenhower's eyes narrowed. The room seemed to hold its breath. He imagined the risk, the thousands of lives at stake. A long pause stretched between them. Then, slowly, he leaned back and nodded. He would trust Patton to do the impossible. Orders were issued immediately. Third Army began executing contingency plans that had been prepared 11 days earlier. December 9th, 1944. Nancy, France. 10 days before Verdun, Colonel Oscar Koch, Patton's chief intelligence officer, entered the office carrying a stack of reports. Koch was meticulous, methodical, and known for spotting patterns invisible to others. He had tracked German movements for months, and noticed something troubling. 15 divisions had vanished. Full-strength units, including panzer divisions, moved without explanation. Koch spread his maps across Patton's desk. "General, the Germans are planning a major offensive. The Ardennes is thinly held. Their target will be here. It will come soon, within 2 weeks." Patton leaned over the maps, eyes scanning every mark. History echoed in his mind. Germany had used this same route in 1940, racing to the English Channel. Koch presented evidence, unusual radio traffic, new units moving in, prisoner interrogations, civilian reports of activity behind enemy lines. Koch's foresight was precise, urgent, undeniable. Patton called Omar Bradley, relaying Koch's assessment. Bradley listened, skeptical. Supreme Headquarters insisted a major offensive was impossible. Patton hung up, a long pause. He let the silence stretch. Then he looked at Koch, eyes calm, jaw tight. He trusted the man, trusted his analysis. "Start planning. Make it ready," Patton said. Over the next 10 days, Patton's staff worked in secret, every variable considered. Truck routes calculated, fuel prepositioned, artillery designated for rapid redeployment, infantry assigned precise roads and assembly points. 3 full contingency plans were drawn, ready depending on German movements. By December 12th, Patton told his senior commanders, "Be ready to disengage on short notice." No explanation. They were mid-offensive. Why plan for an attack 100 miles away? But they obeyed. By December 15th, Third Army was the only major American force prepared for the Ardennes. Other armies assumed the war would end by Christmas. Patton's foresight, built on Koch's intelligence, would soon prove the difference between disaster and survival. December 16th, 1944. Ardennes, Belgium. At 5:30 a.m., the silence shattered. German artillery thundered along an 80-mile front. Shells tore into American positions. Infantry surged forward. Tanks followed. 4 American divisions, spread thin, were suddenly outnumbered, nearly 4-1. Communications failed. Units lost contact. Roads clogged with retreating soldiers and vehicles. Reports reached Supreme Headquarters. Disbelief reigning. How could over 200,000 Germans strike with complete surprise? At Third Army, Patton reacted differently. Calm, precise, immediate. He summoned his staff and turned to Koch. "You were right," Patton said, eyes scanning the room. Then quietly, "What's their objective?" Koch studied the reports. Bastogne, the road junction, then Antwerp. Patton nodded, reached for the phone. "General Gaffey, play ball." 2 words activated 11 days of preparation. Orders flowed. 4th Armored Division moved north. 26th Infantry Division followed. Truck convoys loaded troops and supplies. Artillery shifted. Supply depots redirected fuel, food, ammunition. Over 133,000 vehicles traversed narrow, icy roads. Every contingency had been anticipated. While other armies scrambled, Third Army executed flawlessly. Patton was not performing a miracle. He was following a plan. December 19th to 21st, 1944. The counterattack. The advance was relentless. Frostbite claimed fingers and toes. Vehicles broke down in deep snow. Men marched. Tanks rolled. Artillery fired. By December 21st, lead elements of the 4th Armored Division reached positions north of Bastogne, covering over 100 miles in less than 48 hours while disengaging from prior combat. December 22nd, 1944. Bastogne, Belgium. The 101st Airborne clung to Bastogne. Ammunition low, food and medical supplies nearly gone. Germans demanded surrender. Brigadier General Anthony McAuliffe's reply, "Nuts!" The paratroopers refused to yield. Relief was coming. Patton's division struck north with armored might. Tank battles erupted in frozen fields. Infantry advanced through snow-laden villages. Artillery tore through enemy defenses. Every mile was contested. Every advance a fight against both man and winter. December 26th, 1944. Relief at 4:50 p.m. First Lieutenant Charles Barger's tank, Cobra King, broke through the final German defenses at Aseninoa. His crew linked up with the 101st Airborne. Siege over. Supply convoys poured in. Ammunition, food, medical supplies. The 101st could continue to hold Bastogne. The Battle of the Bulge continued for weeks, leaving over 19,000 Americans dead, 47,000 wounded, and 23,000 missing or captured. But Patton's rapid relief prevented catastrophe. Had Bastogne fallen, Germans could have split the Allied armies and reached the coast. Aftermath and legacy. Patton received no special medal for Bastogne, though Third Army's performance was praised. Oscar Koch remained largely unknown outside intelligence circles, but his foresight had shaped history. Captured German commanders admitted their shock. They had expected delayed, confused American response. Instead, within 4 days, Patton's counterattack disrupted their entire timetable. The lesson: intelligence is meaningless unless trusted. Preparation is useless unless acted upon. Patton was neither lucky nor reckless. He was prepared. In the frozen Ardennes, preparation saved thousands of lives.